Want to make great tasting, nutritious, plant-based food? Fast, easy, low cost, low energy, with very little cleanup? Then let's get to it. Dark chocolate almond bark. I just love this stuff. It is just the best. This many times is my dessert. I just take a chunk of this out of the freezer and eat it. It's just makes the best dessert. It's all I need. It's just fantastic. So there's basically 3 ingredients here. There's the chocolate, and there's the almonds, and there's the sweetener. So sweetener's optional. If you don't want to put it in, don't put it in. I put in just the amount. Over the years I've been making this, I know exactly how I like it made, and that's really what I like. Doesn't mean that you're going to like that, so you can adjust your sugar out or your sweetener out, whatever sweetener you use. So chocolate, this is Valrhona. This is from France. This is 100% chocolate ingredients, 100% cocoa solids, so there's nothing in here other than that. This is turbinado sugar, and it's made into a syrup. I make this into the syrup. Many videos on YouTube show you how to do that. It's very simple. I can tell you real quick. Sugar, I use a ceramic bowl, put the sugar in, level it out, put water in up to the top of that, and then slowly warm it. About 175 degrees it gets to, right in there. It starts to break down. Just keep stirring it, and before you know it, you've got sugar. So sugar syrup, excuse me. So and I love this stuff. It's got this great, almost like a mapley taste to it. It's really wonderful. I never use, I can put it this way, very rarely use white sugar or powdered sugar to sweeten something totally. I may use white sugar if I want to sprinkle something on top, or same thing with powdered sugar, but to sweeten inside. I used to use a lot of honey. I don't use honey anymore, obviously, for many reasons, but I don't use honey. And I had made this many years, decades ago with honey. So this stuff's hard to get. It's not easy to find. Surface Restaurant Supply in Los Angeles. That's where I get that. So that's a half-pound block. I've got a half-pound in here. I'm going to make a half-pound of bark. So this is 8 ounces. I've got 6 ounces over here. This is dry roasted, unsalted almonds. And they're the whole almond. So I like the skin on. That's just the way I like them. You could substitute that for any type of almond you want. Doesn't really matter. It's up to you. And again, you can use whatever sugar you want and how much of it you want. So this half-pound, I will use what I normally use, which are 3 tablespoons of this sugar. And that's, for me, just perfect sweetness for it. It's fantastic. It's really great. It's not overly sweet. It leaves a little bit of the bitterness to come through of the chocolate, which I love. And it's sweet enough to just make it really nice and very, very delicious with that little bit of sweetness in it. So, typical method, I'm going to fill this bowl with tap water. Now, I leave my tap water up at, my water heater up at about 190 degrees. It's at the max, so it comes out about 190 out of the faucet. And I'm just going to fill this with water and put this bowl in it and let that slow melt. I like that method better. I have done over the fire in the pot and the bowl and the double in the water. This just works better. If for some reason it comes out better with a slower melt, don't ask me why, but it does for me. So maybe not for you. So anyway, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get that done. So I'm going to go put this in the water. It takes a little bit of time, but not that long. And I'm going to come back and put all this together, and you're going to see how simple it is. And then I'm going to show you how I finish it and put it in the freezer. So with that said, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So this is done. This took less. The reason I kind of use the tap water is it's actually faster than trying to get the water hot, which was already hot in the water tank on the stove. So this took less than 12 minutes, and you can see from the upper camera that this is just ready to go. It's beautiful. Okay, so here's how I put this together and the way it works the best. So I'm going to take And I'm going to do the 3 tablespoons of sugar. And this again is the turbinado liquefied sugar. That out of the way. Okay. Now, I mix this right now. So this is what you want to do, and you're going to see, if you look at that, you can see that it's starting to sort of emulsify. How it turns the chocolate into a different, like almost like a batter-looking type of stirring versus the liquid the way it was before. So I just get this all in here. And stir it up really well. So you don't want to overbeat this, because you can, then I've had it happen, just depends on how much you overbeat it, it'll kind of change the texture of it, and it'll actually melt sooner. Okay, so now goes in the almonds. Real simple, and you just stir these in. I don't try to whip this around too much, I just want to get every almond covered and make sure they're all nice and all got covered, so there's no almonds sticking out that don't have any chocolate on them. You can just smell that. It's just wonderful. Just wonderful. I mean, you know, confection making is just so good. Okay, so I get it all covered like that. Now, I have a copper 12-inch by 12-inch. This goes in my toaster oven. It's my pastry kind of cookies, everything else I make on it. But this time I covered it with foil. And the reason is it's going in the freezer. And I'm just gonna, when it's done, this foil becomes real easy just to peel off the bottom of the bark. You break up the bark, I put it in a Ziploc bag, and it goes back in the freezer. So I just spread this out on this. So starting right from the middle, get all this out. Yeah. And then I just get this and start pushing it around. I just want to make it real flat and even as I can. As you can, well, let's get this up here so you can see it better. There, now I'll give you a shot of what it looks like. And I'm just going to move this around. And this depends a lot. I make the bark as thick as the almonds. So that's how I do it. And again, I have a lot of almonds here, but that's the way I like it. So I try to get them all leveled out. When you have the time to do it, it won't cool down on you that quickly. And get them nice and even, so every single bite's got more than one almond. Because I love almonds. They're just one of the best nuts ever, is an almond. Okay. And you can feel when you've got it exactly flat, when all the almonds are at the right same height, and you've got this beautiful piece of bark that just, the smell of it is just intoxicating. It's just incredible. It has such a rich smell to it. Okay, that's it. I think I've got it all. Everything looks even, nice. Okay, this goes in the freezer, and that's it. You're done. When it's frozen, it takes about 30 minutes and it's ready to eat. That's all it takes to freeze it in the freezer. So I just put this in there, lay it flat, make sure it doesn't run and drip off, and you've got the best dark chocolate almond bark you have ever had. I'm FOODMAKER V, and remember, the best investment is the investment in your health. I'll see you next time.